Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. I'm not gay. In this video, I'll prove definitively that the racial competition is over. And a bunch of rich whites, Jews, and LGBT people are trying to confuse you about that. First of all, we are not witnessing the end of the Bible in the Middle East. The end of the Bible is about God and his Royal African Falcon top martial arts order versus the world, the whole world. See Isaiah 34, Isaiah 24, Revelation 17, Revelation 18, what have you. It makes it clear that the whole world, every nation, is doing the wrong thing. Now, how do we know this for sure? How do we know you can't interpret it a different way and still be sane and logical? Well, because the spirits of the nations is a neo-Roman spirit. Okay? It is not a Philistine spirit. It is not the Amorites, the Jebusites, what have you. The spirit of the groups in the Middle East are not the same spirit and spirits that face the Jews in their tribal form. So when they talk about, oh, this is like an ancient battle being relived, they're wrong. That's why I put the picture on the screen. When even the king of Saudi Arabia, which is perhaps the most strictly tribalist nation on the planet, when even they are extremely Roman washed, he looks like a modern day Nero, not like a traditional Arab tribalist. When we look at Israel, it is a secular nation with Western cultures, LGBT cultures, with a Western government, not a traditional Jewish government. It is not a theocracy. He refers to the conflict as Western civilization, right? Civilization versus barbarism. Not as a Jewish state, a theocratic state, versus their enemies in the Bible. It is basically one faction of neo-Romans versus another faction. And then there's other factions aligned to them. America is a neo-Roman state. China, Russia, the UK. So you see the essence of the climactic battle in Revelation. I've gone over this many times and no one has a counter-argument. The essence of it is spiritual. It's good versus evil. Not one corrupt group versus another. And when we see the Jews have broken into two major camps. One, those who are pretending that that what's going on with Israel and its wars has to do with the Bible, in terms of them magically being the good guy, completely disregarding Galatians 4, which corrects the Old Testament clearly. And the other are Jews who are like Eeyore, they're subdued. They go, yay, we're opposed to him, yay. Or like, Eeyore, I'm staying out of it. Okay, so that group of people who either are not committed to it because they're kind of feeble and against it, or they're feeble and broken and they just are depressed. None of those groups are God's warrior order. Let me end this by saying this. How else do we know? We know because the Lord is a warrior, the root and offspring of David, David facing Goliath as a warrior, is a martial warrior, not a settler with a musket, or the evolution of a settler with a musket, or the evolution of a Roman soldier with a sword, now a Roman soldier with some kind of assault rifle, what have you. Pretty straightforward. And quite often they have body armor, like the Roman soldiers had body armor. So the evolution of the Roman kind of cult state, their factions fighting. Rome is modeled after Babylon. First there was Egypt, then there was the Indus Valley Empire, the Harappan Empire, then there was the empires in the Middle East, including Babylon, Persia, Assyria, what have you. Then it was Greece and Rome. So Rome is a Babylonian kind of copy, carbon copy. But in a sense, it's authentic because they actually are evil. And they're trying to worship the devil. Jupiter and Juno, made after Zeus and Hera, which goes back to Baal and Asherah, what have you, in the Middle East. Now there's other consorts, right? Asherah known as the Queen of Heaven. And Baal, the main evil deity, worshipped in the Bible. And we see that in Rome, Jupiter, one of his epitaphs was Jupiter Baal. He's clearly the counterpart of Baal, aka Baal. So, as you can see, I've clearly proven that what they're doing is known as political Zionism for a reason. Right? It's political. God is not a politician. God deals in truth. They've merged a kind of fake theatrical version of Judaism with the state. And Judaism itself is a confusing version of something that's true. Designed to confuse people on purpose because they want to pretend that their rabbis and their orders are magically chosen by God, but they're more like wizards and warlocks and witches than they are like holy people. No offense to anybody, these are the facts. Thank you. Okay, so really quickly, people on Nero's side of the debate think that people should be like narcissists and they should just play a stupid theater arts game and so on and so forth. But ver in virtue means man. If one doesn't grow up to be a man, they're wasting their life. Babylon, baby line, they're wasting their life like some punk playing a dress-up sissy game where they want people to pretend. And only a slut would marry someone doing that. Only a dumb, fair-weather harlot. That's the prostitute and the dumb brute beast and the dumb brute betas. You know, dumb betas, nerds. And the people who are like English people who put on a show and try to pretend that they're the exception. To the English person in popular culture, we see in the movies, what have you, Prince Humperdinck, you know, English-like, what have you. He thinks that if everyone is either a brute or a nerd, except for English people, and they try to look like elegant gentlemen or something, that magically people will make the obviously retarded mistake of thinking that they're chosen and blessed. So again, whether you're a brute saying, America, you know, supporting the military blindly, or you're a nerd saying, oh, we're smarter than everybody else. Well, how much money do you make, man? Or you're like, yes, 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 of course, yes. You know, in this modern day form, you're like Nero. Those three things are all narcissistic and Luciferian and demonic and satanic and evil. The way is the truth. The way to not waste your life, the way to heaven, is to live a righteous life. Not falsehood. Outside of the gates are those who practice falsehood.